Hello everyone, welcome back to my Chem Corner. In today's video we're doing another question 4.1.4 from chemical bonding and molecular structure. So the question says use the Lewis symbols to show electron transfer between the following atoms to form cation and anion. First one is potassium and sulfur. The second one is calcium and oxygen. Third one is aluminium and nitrogen. So basically you have to use Lewis symbols. The protocol is the same, the one that I had told in one of the previous videos, where how you're going to find out a Lewis symbol. You first need to know what its atomic number is or the group number, and then identify the number of valence electrons. And the basic purpose why an cation or an anion is forming is because it needs to attain an octet in its valence orbital. Okay, so we look at the first one, which is potassium and sulfur. So potassium, the atomic number is 19. When you write its electronic configuration, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6 and 4s1. So the valence orbital is this, which is 4s1. Now, when you look at this particular orbital, here it has only one electron. Similarly, when you try to write for sulfur, all right, when you try to write for sulfur, sulfur is atomic number 16, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2 and 3p4. Now if you look at the valence orbital of potassium, it's 4s1, and the valence orbitals for sulfur is 3s2, 3p4. Now none of this has 8 electrons in the valence orbital. In order to gain that 8 electrons, when you draw the Lewis dot structure of potassium, it's 1 dot, and for sulfur you have 6 dots. Okay, now sulfur needs to gain 2 more to complete the octet, and potassium needs to lose that one, so it is in the octet state here. So what will it do? Sulfur needs 2 electrons. One potassium can donate only 1 electron. Okay, so I'm going to have another potassium which can donate another electron to sulfur. Now this will change to, you're using 2 potassiums, so it is 2 with a +1 charge, each potassium having +1, and sulfur is gaining 2 electrons, one each from potassium, and it becomes 2 minus. Okay, so like this, from the Lewis dot structure, it is easy for us to draw the to form a cation and an anion. Now similarly, when you look at calcium and oxygen, all right, when you look at calcium and oxygen, calcium atomic number is 20 and oxygen atomic number is 8. Now when you write the electronic configuration of calcium, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6 and 4s2. When you look for oxygen, 1s2, 2s2 and 2p4. When you look at the valence orbital of calcium, it is 4s2. And when you look at the valence orbital of oxygen, it is 2s2, 2p6. So when I draw the Lewis structure for calcium, it is with Ca with 2 dots, and oxygen will again be 6 dots. So oxygen needs to get 2 electrons and calcium needs to lose that 2 electrons, so it will remain in the octet state. How does that happen? Calcium donates its electrons to oxygen, and therefore it will become Ca2 plus, because calcium is donating those 2 electrons and oxygen gains those 2 electrons. All right, so when you look at the valence orbitals of these elements, looking at that, you can identify how many electrons are they going to lose and what is the charge. And the last one is aluminium and nitrogen. Aluminium is 13, so that makes it 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2 and 3p1. Alright, I'll just rewrite that. Yeah. Okay, so that is 3s2 and 3p1. So this is for atomic number 13. Whereas when you look at nitrogen, nitrogen atomic number is 7. So here you will have 1s2, 2s2 and 2p3. When you look at aluminium, aluminium has this as the valence orbital 3s2 and 3p1. So it will be Al with 3 dots. Okay. And when you look at nitrogen, nitrogen has 5 because it's 2s2 and 2p3. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now it has 4. It has 5, sorry. 5. So it has to gain 3 more. So this electron will transfer, this electron will transfer and this electron will transfer. So 3 electrons from the valence orbitals are getting transferred to nitrogen. Therefore, aluminium will get an octet state. So when 3 electrons are getting transferred, aluminium will become 3 plus. Nitrogen is gaining these 3 electrons. So when it gets more 3 here, so it will become 6. 6 plus 2, 8. So this will become N3 minus. Okay. The key is to know that when an element donates an electron, it forms a cation, which means it will have positive charge. And when an element is gaining an electron, it will get a negative charge. Now you need to write along with the number there, because if it's transferring 2 electrons, if the electrons are being transferred from an atom, then it is, if it's 2 electrons, it's 2 plus. If it is gaining an electron, then you put a negative charge. Okay, so I've explained about Lewis symbol in a few previous videos. You can check out those videos if you're still confused about how to write a Lewis symbol for an element.